It is important to constantly treat mental health with respect and not to minimize it. This is a tale of a 6-week-old who became an orphan the moment both of his parents passed away unexpectedly. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. 24-year-old Clayton Osteen was a member of the SWAT squad while serving in the U.S. Marine Corps. He was an excellent military guy who gave his nation his all while doing his job with distinction. His career was taking off until he unexpectedly chose to go in a different direction than most people had anticipated. He made the decision to leave the Corps and join a different security force branch. According to the words of his closest friends, Clayton aspired to be a sheriff. Wanting to work among citizens, he joined the local police enforcement department, and guess what? He was quite good there too. He started working for the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office in November 2019. Among his contemporaries, Clayton enjoyed great popularity and respect, making him a valuable addition to the police as a deputy sheriff. He received recognition for his achievements a year after he joined the force. Clayton received 2 honors from his prestigious department: the Deputy of the Quarter for December 2020 and the Deputy of the Year 2020 overall. Isn't that remarkable? According to Sheriff Ken Mascara, Clayton was among our finest cops. His Marine experience was priceless, and he was a bright light to us. However, he was not just a good police officer. He was also a great man who was well respected by everybody and humble and honest. It was the reason he was adored by everybody. Everything was going great, and then the best part happened. He met the love of his life. About a year after Clayton, in February 2020, Victoria Pacheco also joined the force. Many people characterize her as a passionate law enforcement officer who was vivacious, sincere, honest, and badass. She graduated from South Fork High School in 2016 and attended Indian River State College prior to joining the police department. It was love at first sight for these 2 deputies. The 2 began dating a few weeks after they first crossed paths. They were a great fit, since it's not often that you meet someone who wants to succeed in the same industry as you and has the same hobbies. In my opinion, Clayton and Victoria's tale demonstrates how you may just know when you're with the perfect person. You just go for it without thinking twice, since you might not come across that sort of person again. And the Deputy of the Year 2020 accomplished precisely that. He proposed months after they first started dating, getting down on one knee. She replied yes, of course. The couple's relatives and a few co-workers attended the little ceremony where they exchanged vows. Bernice Bartolini, Victoria's grandmother, called the narrative a fairy tale. She referred to Clayton and her granddaughter as Romeo and Juliet of the present day. They had a promising future ahead of them and were the ideal pair. The young couple also yearned for their own children. Fortunately, the young woman became pregnant quickly, and they experienced no issues with infertility. They would be the finest parents a child could have, Bernice said. I have no doubt about that. Because Clayton is a bright and well-behaved youngster, I adore them both. Victoria had her first ultrasound scan 12 weeks into her pregnancy. According to the scan findings, the deputy sheriff was carrying a boy. The doctor informed the thrilled parents that their kid was in excellent condition. It had always been Clayton's dream to have his kid born before December, to spend their first Christmas together as a family, and that's precisely what took place. In November of 2021, Victoria had birth. Despite being on duty, her spouse managed to return home in time for a last-minute trip to the hospital. She gave birth without any issues, and the medical staff assisted in the birth of Jace. Clayton was quite pleased, as was his wife. He finally had the family he had always wanted, which was a dream come true. The new mother and her young son were released from the hospital a few days later. But on New Year's Eve, after celebrating Christmas as a family, an unexpected event occurred. Before midnight on New Year's Eve, the deputies responded to a 911 call, according to a news statement issued by Sheriff Mascara. They were all surprised to learn that this caller was someone they knew. After her husband attempted suicide, Victoria was forced to make the call. Clayton was not on duty at the time of this occurrence. When the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office learned that one of their own officers had tried suicide, they were all in disbelief. The father of one was, happily, still with us. After being taken to the closest hospital, physicians had to put him on a life support system in order to preserve his survival. When they learned what had happened, everyone in their community was taken aback. A lot of people in Lucey County thought Clayton had it all. He and his wife were ambitious and their jobs were moving forward quickly. He was also happy becoming a parent 2 days after the event on January 2nd. He was still in the same state. After his family removed him from life support, Clayton ascended to a higher plane of existence. Victoria, his wife, was distraught. She could hardly fathom her life without him since she loved him so much. This female police officer terminated things on her own 2 days after her spouse passed away. Even though it is somewhat unfortunate that Jace was left an orphan, a great thing happened. He would now receive all the assistance required to have a nice life. Bernie expressed her sorrow for her granddaughter by saying, "My heart is so sad. I believe that my pain was prior to the death of my lovely granddaughter. Romeo and Juliet's story is sad. They will always be together now. While I resided in Florida, Victoria and I had a close relationship. I wish I could have been there for her, but she was there for me. I'm really pleased with my grandchild. She was a great person for the few times she was here. Vicky was a nice mother as well as a skilled worker. Nobody knows why this occurred. She really did make a difference and I really do miss her. But right now, Jace is the most significant thing to all of us. As sheriff, I saw these 2 deputies as young, ambitious, and a great compliment to my already amazing group of professionals," Sheriff Mascara said of the couple. "It's simple for the public, and occasionally even for me, to see police enforcement as superhuman, but we must remember that they are people too. In addition to the daily stress that all of us experience, law enforcement personnel also handle the tension of the people they serve in our community, which can occasionally be quite difficult." Clayton was a brilliant young guy who was also really witty and motivated. Not only will we all remember the pair for their outstanding military service, but also for the wonderful individuals they were. Recall that I mentioned that the small kid experienced something extraordinary from all of this? Friends of the family created a GoFundMe page for the youngster. Tragically, on December 31st, 2021, Clayton took his own life for reasons that are entirely unknown and completely out of character. The page read 2 days later, "Still reeling from the blow of her loss, Victoria committed suicide. In order to support baby Jace moving forward, the nation and community must come together." Additionally, they requested that the public assist in gathering necessities for baby Jace, including gift cards, diapers, wipes, and formula. And what do you know? Jace now has more than a year's worth of infant formula. However, the resounding backing doesn't stop there. The goal of the fundraising website is to raise $10,000. The page currently has more over $120,000. Isn't that incredible? Jace will now have access to funding for all of his requirements. The Best Deputy Award has been given to his parents in recognition of their consistent service and moral behavior. In a somber burial, they were buried side by side in caskets wrapped with the American flag. Numerous deputies from the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office in Florida, as well as friends and relatives, saluted their coffins as they passed past. How do you feel about the tale of this couple until we meet again? Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.